Okay, hello Nishit bhai,
So,
assalamu alaikum. How are you today?
Assalamualaikum. I'm fine by and you.
Okay, I am also fine. So at first, let's do our introductions. I am MD Said Rahman. I am working as a software engineer from 3 years. I mainly work in backend.asp.net. So can you tell us a bit about yourself?
So, good afternoon, bhai. I thank you for arranging this mock interview. I am truly grateful that you selected for this opportunity. My name is Nishi Kanta Paul. I belong Dhaka for my study as job purposes, and but my hometown is Sylhet, and I completed my BSc in Computer Science and Engineering from Assam University of Science and Technology. And my strong involvement in competitive programming has sharpened my problem-solving skills, and I participated in national contest. And once again, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, bhai, as you have mentioned about ICPC national contest, how many times have you participated there?
Uh, One time, but
One time. Is it ICPC or NCPC?
ICPC, BUBT, last time ICPC,
Okay, so what can you tell the rank of your team?
116.
Okay, that's good. So, can you tell me about some of your strengths? Like, what are your positive sides?
Uh, basically, uh, Basically, I am a quick learner and can adapt to new technologies, and throughout my university, I have been deeply involved in competitive programming, as I mentioned earlier, uh, enhancing my problem-solving skills significantly. Additionally, I have collaborated with the various teams on development projects for my university purposes, and this will improve my also technical skills.
Okay, fine. So, do you have any weakness you want to mention?
Uh, One thing I am not great at is finding time for family events because I focus a lot on my work. It is a weakness because family is important. And another thing I is mentioned to trust people quickly, and which can sometimes get me into a trouble. But I am working on being more careful and making better choice. I'm sure I'm getting better at it over time.
Okay, bhai, as you said, family time is important because often we work overtime and we forgot about our personal life. So, we can
Uh,
move to the technical part of today's mock interview. Are you good in object-oriented programming?
uh, yes, by good
So,
at
what are
object-oriented
the
programming books.
four pillars of object-oriented programming?
Uh, there are four pillars such as encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction.
So can you explain these in short using normal language, like not any definition? What do you understand
Uh,
by these pillars? If you want to say, you can give real life examples also.
okay, so encapsulation is a kind of hiding the data uh, in a single unit, and when you uh, this concept is came from capsule. And when you think about capsule, there are different types of medicines and something like that. And as a programmer, we think about different types of attributes and behave methods, and we did in a single unit, that means class. So you can say that class is an encapsulation, and we declare data members as a private so that no one can access outside the code. And when you use this data, you can use getter and setter methods as a public method. And I would a real life example of encapsulation could be a car,
Encapsulation is not needed. You
because
have, hello.
hello, bhai, can you hear
You
me?
have already explained encapsulation well. Can you explain inheritance?
Yeah.
Some
Okay.
real life
Inheritance is a
example.
core concept in okay, bhai. Inheritance is a uh, inheritance is a core concept in object-oriented programming, where our parent class, where subclass is created based on the superclass. Here superclass means the parent class, and suppose we have a group of vehicle, and 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 we know that some vehicles has individual characteristics, and also we know that and some common characteristics contains all the vehicles. So it's not an efficient approach if you uh, again and again use this type of common characteristics. If you create a blueprint, or you can say that template where all the common characteristics exist,
It is
so you
parent
can just
class.
inherit, or you can,
It will be some parent
yeah,
class or base
yeah, bhai.
class. Okay, you can
Sorry, bhai.
continue. You said you will keep the common characteristics in a template. I am telling it will be a parent class.
Yeah, it is parent class.
Okay, you can continue your example.
Okay, so that you can use reuse these common characteristics for subclasses that such as car, bus, and trucks, and for vehicle. And so the main uses of inheritance is the code reusability, increase the code reusability, because there are, and also you can achieve a runtime polymorphism, because when uh, in inside the parent class, if there is a method, and when you reuse this method in subclasses, those methods are overridden method, so you can achieve also a runtime polymorphism using
But those
inheritance.
methods are not overridden, but you can override it if you declare the same method in the child classes.
Yes, sir.
So you have already given your answer nicely. Have you studied about interface and abstract class in university?
Yes, right.
Can you tell that what is the difference between interface and abstract class?
In abstract class, uh, in abstract class you cannot instantiate it, or that means you cannot create an object for this class. And inside the abstract class, uh, there are it contain abstract methods and also a non-abstract method. And but on the other hand, interface is a collection of abstract methods, and you can achieve using abstract class, you can achieve partially abstraction using abstract class, because there might be a non-abstract methods. And on the other hand, in interface you can achieve full abstraction and using interface, because all the methods are abstract methods.
Can I write a method implementation inside interface? Like
Sorry, bhai,
a
can you
whole,
repeat?
can I write a whole method inside an interface?
No, bhai.
Okay, but I can write a method inside an abstract class, but I can only write that method definition in interface.
Yes, bhai. Method definition, that means uh, you can create an non-abstract methods, and also you can create an abstract method in
No,
abstract class, but interface must be in abstract methods.
so in interface, you cannot write the method body. You can only write the input and output parameter, but not the method body. You can
Yes, right.
recheck this later. Okay, so we can move to other parts. Are you good in data structures and algorithms? I think you are good.
Yes, right.
So do you know the difference between an array and an linked list?
So the main difference between array and the linked list is array, the elements are in a sequential order. That means they are contiguous, and on the other hand, in a linked list they are not contiguous. And another difference between array and the linked list is you can achieve uh, uh, you can in array uh, you can declare the size of the array in a compile time. On the other hand, in a linked list, you can declare size of the array in a runtime, and that means a dynamic memory allocation. And another difference between array and a linked list is in array you can easily access any element and using of one time complexity because they are contiguous and you can easily uh, access any element. And on the other hand, in a linked list, you cannot access any element using O of one time because they are not contiguous. You can traverse whole the linked list and then you can access any element. But in array, insertion and deletion operations take more times over linked list because they are contiguous. When you insert and delete any element in a array, you can shift whole the array elements. On the other hand, in linked list, you can just connect those two links individually.
Okay,
And
bhai, hello.
then we,
You
जी
don't
भाई.
have to tell more about linked list. So let's say you are given a linked list. You are given only one node of a linked list as the starting point. How will you identify the linked list is circular or not?
So if this node is pointing to the head node, then you can say that this is the circular linked list.
How will you understand that this node is pointing to head node?
So you can that a linked list is a collection of in linked list is a node where each node contain one data field and another is a pointer next
Yes.
pointing to the next node.
You are
So
given
when
only one node. You are given only one node in the input.
okay, जी भाई. So in that case, when the next pointer pointing to again the head node, then you can say they are in a circular order.
Okay, if the first node is pointing to second node and the second node is pointing to third node, then the third node can point to the first node again. Then it is circular. So how will you identify it? Because the first node is not pointing to first node. But it can be that
Okay, so
20th node is pointing to the first node.
okay, so in that case, you can when you traverse the whole linked list, and if if you encounter when if you encounter again and again encounter the head node, then you can say that they are in a circular order.
So how will you know that this node is already visited?
Uh, in that case, you have a data structure like hash map or maps data structure where each time insert in a map data structure every node, and when they revisited, then you can say that they in a circular order.
So you
Or
will use another data structure to store that you have visited it or not.
so in that case the time complexity is order of n and the space complexity is order of n
Okay.
because of the hash data structure. And
So
so this is not an efficient approach. So you can solve this using uh, hare and tortoise algorithm. This is the famous algorithm for linked list. So
okay, if I understand your answer, as the time is short, we can move to more questions. I know about the hare and tortoise algorithm. If you use that, you don't need any space, extra space.
yes, baby.
So what I want to ask is, whenever you use any website, for example, you are in one page of Facebook, then you are going to another page, then you are going to another page, then you press the back button. Then, for example, you are pressing the back button 3 times, and again you are pressing the next page button, like page navigation back and forth. How will you design this? Using which data structure or how? Do you have
Sorry,
any
bhai, can you
idea
repeat
about
it,
this?
please? Can you repeat it, please, bhai?
Okay, so I have given you a Google Doc. Can you open it? The Google Doc.
Sure, bhai. Yes, bhai.
So let's say a user is in page 1. Okay, please share your screen.
Okay.
Okay, for example, a user is in page 1 of any website, then the user goes to page 2, then the user goes to page 3, then the user presses back button, presses back. If the user presses back, in which page he should go? Page 2, it should be page 2.
Yes, bhai.
Okay, page 2. Then if the user again presses back button, he should go to page 1. It would be page 1.
Yes.
Then if the user presses next button, because in the browser we have always 2 buttons, back and next. Then the user should again go to page 2. So did you understand the scenario?
Yes, bhai.
So how, in which data structure we can design this? How will you know that after pressing back I need to go to 1, or after pressing next I need to go to page 2?
For pressing back, uh, you can use stack data structure.
Let's say this is a problem and you have to design it.
So when you press back, in that case, you can use stack data structure for previously previous page. When you press next,
When I am pressing next, I want to also store that which page the user wants. So if you
okay,
pop out the
okay, wait,
element,
I got. In that case, you can use doubly linked list.
doubly linked list.
Yes,
And let's say the user, instead of pressing next, he wants to go to another page. He wants to go to, let's say, page 5. So then you need to clear the linked list or delete the rest of the elements, right?
yes, yes,
So
bhai.
I can also do this using 2 stacks, like one stack for all the previous pages, another stack for all the next pages.
So
For example, when the user visited page 1, in linked list, one stack it is 1, then the user goes to page 2. This is how the stack is filling up on top. When he presses back button, I am removing 3 from this stack and I am putting 3 in another stack here. Now he
okay,
presses
so
next button, I can know that which stack he was. It is also another solution I am just sharing. Double linked list will also work, I think.
yes, bhai.
So do you understand my solution here?
Yes, bhai.
Yes, all the solutions are correct. Your solution is also correct. So we can go to more problems. Do you know about recursion?
Yes, bhai.
So I will give you a problem. You have to write a pseudocode for recursion.
Yes, bhai.
Here is the problem. So try to read the problem and understand if you are understanding it or not. But you are given a number, not number. You are write a pseudo. Sorry, the problem statement is not clear. You are given integer, e.g. 132. You have to output in console 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 2. You have to use recursion to solve this problem.
So in that case, you can solve this problem in recursion. So firstly, visit uh, visit every number. Then you can, when you encounter 0, that means there are no numbers, then you can just terminate. So
So can you
if
write the
I
code here? The
yes,
syntax don't need to be correct, like normal sample.
so suppose there is a function called void. Inside this function, there is a variable parameter number, where num n is equal to the number. So when the base case is when the number is small than 0, that means there are no number. In that case, you can just return, or otherwise you can call the solve function uh, divided by 10, and then you can print this and not 10.
Okay, is the code
So
done?
wait a minute. So for the dry run of this code, can I use a drawing pen?
You can use anything here.
Thank you. So if to dry run of this codes, in that case, firstly, 132 is game n, and this is greater than the 0. So in that case, can again call for 13, and again call for 1, and again call for
0.
0. In that case, they return. So
I think it will be less than equal to 0, n less than equal to 0. The base case logic.
so in that case, the 0 1 will be printed, and then 3 will be printed, and then 2 will be printed. So okay, but the solution is, I think, okay.
There is one corner case I found. If the given integer is 0, then you can write another extra line before calling the recursion function. But so in this question, the constraint will have to be number greater than equal to 1 for this problem. Because if the provided number is less than 1, then recursion will not work. Okay, your answer is correct. So we can go to more questions. Did you practice lead code before, lead code type problems?
Yes,
Okay. So I am giving a lead code problem here. I just want to know your approach. You don't have to write whole code. No.
okay. So the problem statement is given an array of integers, nums, and the integer target. Return indices of the numbers, two numbers, such that they add up to target. You may assume that each part could exactly one solution. Okay, and you may not use the same element twice. You can return the answer in any order. Okay, so for the sample test cases, as you can see that the target element is 9, and when you just sum first and second element, that means 2 and 7, you can achieve our target element. So, but could you please give me the constraint of this problem?
Or you can assume any basic test case. We don't want to do any complex thing here because the time is short.
So, so if the so the naive solution could be the group four solution, and where you can uh, in run a two loop, and first loop is for the first element and second loop is for the second element. When you encounter the target element, you can just return those two indexes, and if uh, so in that case the time complexity will be order of n square, and the space complexity is order of 1 because there are no extra space.
Yes.
And so this is not an efficient approach because the time complexity is order of n square. To improve our solution, you can use map data structure, because of when you when in a single pass, because when suppose for the first element, uh, insert the map data structure, and when you encounter the second element, you subtract target element minus the entering element. So if you found this element in the map data structure, so in that case you can sure that uh, those elements are present in the array. So you can
So
just
the
return
map
those
will
two
be value
elements.
to index.
Yep, right. So map value index. So in that case, you can just return those two indexes, and in that case, the time complexity. So the time complexity is order of n, because we just
Okay, bhai,
sim
understand your solution. As we are running out of time, we cannot make the interview more long. I will just give one more question. Try to read it and we let's discuss the solution to it.
So let's say you are working for a company.
As we have a recording time
This one.
limit, I am trying to do it quicker. Let's say you are working for a company, for example, any Bangladeshi local company, and you know
Okay.
that if one desk file is approved, then it goes to the next desk, like another person, like level of approval. There are scenarios.
Yes, right.
So let's say a file can go from desk 1 to 2, 2 to 3, but it cannot go from 3 to 2. So this is written, it only incremental allowed. So in the code base, it was checked that it was only a simple if else that the next this number is greater or not. Initially, thing was built like this. So can you read it and understand it? Have you understand it?
So the code base, there is an enum, and the value of enum can go from dex 1 to 2, 2 to 4, but not dex 2 to 1. But I have a one question. The dex 2 to 3 is uh, allowed or not?
Yes, let's say any disk is allowed if it is greater than the number of previous disks. So in the code base,
Okay,
logic was written like, let's say previous disk long
okay, understand.
less than next disk long, then let's say allowed. Let's say this type of logic was written. But next, what happened that requirements have changed. Like now only disk 3 and 5 can send to disk 2. If requirement keep changing like this, our disk code will not work because these are different corner cases.
Okay,
So
so
how can you do something that will help us solve the problem? Which data structure
okay,
can we use?
okay. Suddenly the exceptional rule, only dex 3 and 5 can send to file 2. Okay. So
We can
That
solve
means,
this problem using if else. For example, if I write normal if else, that if desk number is 3 and 2, then go to desk 2. But if more and more logic changes, then the if else will get more and more, and it will be bug prone. So we want to design a data structure that will help us solve the problem.
okay, so for every dex there is a pair of dex, which dex these dex right by.
Yes, you can design it.
Okay, so so there is a priority in for sending a file for any data, any dex.
Now, this is not written here. Of course, there can be priority, but we are only designing that this is allowed from this desk to this desk or not.
Okay, so I think if you uh 4, 3, 5 uh self upload some exceptional rule. Previous axis 5 and next. Now boss has applied some exceptional rule, only takes 3 and 5. Okay, well, so in that case, you can use a vector of pair for each dex, and the sending file to another dex, and
So which data
for
structure is it called? Is it graph?
vec yes yes, because of you can store this in a mm, uh, vector of vector where.
So by vector of vector, we normally design graph algorithms like normal graph.
Yes,
So
yes,
initially,
bhai.
if we consider, we have, can I scroll down in the next page?
Yes, sure.
So let's say initially, before the previous requirement, if we design the vector, it will be one. This one can send to 2, 3, 4. This two can send to 3, 4. Initially, we can design this. That what are the previous requirements? And then the changed requirements, what has come, only 3 and 5 can send to 2. We can attach desk 2 to 3 and 5.
Yes, bhai.
So this is how we are converting the if else into graph.
Graph.
So if
Yes, bhai.
we are not designing a graph, the if else will also work. But there can be more chances of writing wrong codes if there are too many if else. And requirement keep changing and changing. So in this type of situations, a graph is more better than if else.
Yes, bhai.
Unless you are
Yes.
sure that this requirement will never change, you don't need any graph. You can write one line code. If you are always sure, it will never change the requirement.
Yes, bhai.
So we have only 5 minutes left for the interview. Otherwise, the time is running out in our recording. So as far I have asked you questions, your answers were nice and optimized. So do you have anything to ask or any feedback about the interview?
So finally, I'm thank you again. Thank you for this opportunity. And if I'm um, I'm happy to talk with you because of this type of mock interview is very helpful for freshers and as well as for me. And God bless you, and pray for me.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
bhai.
you.
I also enjoyed taking your interview. As the time is short, I couldn't ask more questions. Did you think it should have more and more questions? But the questions were very less.
Definitely, why? Because the data structure and algorithm are massive thing. So there are more and more questions.
But normally in interviews, interviewer also gets less time. For example, in our company, we are normally encouraged to take 30 minutes of interview because I am not supposed to ask you hundreds of questions, but by asking only few questions, I have to judge that this candidate is right or not.
That's right.
So if you have anything to more to ask, do you want to ask anything more?
No, by
So regarding feedback, I will say that your answers were good. You can practice more in lead code for job type practice. As you are already a good ICPC candidate, in interview boards for job, they don't ask questions like ICPC that much difficult. They ask mainly lead code based questions. So if you practice for job, lead code will be better than code forces. Because
yes,
the
by now
complex
I'm
code
practicing.
forces, yes, the complex problems that we see in code forces, a long problem statement that are not asked often in job interviews.
Yes, by thank
So
you
you
for
can turn off your screen. You don't have to share it anymore.
thank you.
I will ask one more question. I have 3 more minutes left for the interview. When you participated in ICPC contests, have it ever happened in decision-making conflict? For example, you are trying to solve the problem one way and your teammate is trying to solve it another way. Any conflict regarding stuff like this?
For one problem, and after that we encounter some wrong answer because of my approach is bad, and so when we think about carefully, and then in that after that we got AC for this problem, and this type of problem is basically based on sorting. So
But the teamwork was good. Like you didn't face problem
yes, bhai.
in the team decision for a single problem.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
bhai.
bhai, I really enjoyed taking your mock interview. As time is short, we would like to end today's interview. Thank you for joining. Thank you, bhai. You can leave the call.
Thank you.